Welcome back to the Last Remnant video walkthrough and low BR run guide. We're meeting Emma and Hendler. Are you ready? Of course. Alright, let us leave. Be on your toes, we're going to encounter a lot of monsters. Not true.
It's been a long time.
You've been here before?
We have an old family tradition. To carry on the Honeywell name, one must journey to find remnants when one reaches adulthood.
That's cool.
My father died in the war, but he dreamed of a new, great Athlumian remnant. I decided to search here after I heard the Academy had its eye on this place. I thought perhaps I could find one. And then I met her.
You mean my mom?
I'm sorry. I don't mean to bore you. We should get out of here. Your mother is waiting.
Okay.
Okay, so contrary to what she said, we're not going to be fighting a lot of monsters here. These guys are actually the easiest in the game to avoid. They don't they make kind of a half-assed effort to catch you. So it's no problem avoiding them. The ones that are the pain in this zone, and this is the only zone with elevators, by the way, is the ghosts that try to nab you while you're on the elevator. Just because you have real limited mobility when you're controlling the elevator. We will be picking up quests. A rule of thumb, not quests, chests. A rule of thumb for the treasure chests is if I get within a certain proximity of them, I'll pick them up. And that's the rule we'll follow through all these videos. I mentioned earlier there's 199 of them, and a guild task later to get 150 of them, which we'll be getting. And we don't have to go out of our way to hunt down chests, so it's not that big of a deal when you're doing your run-through that you need to know where every chest is. You'll eventually hit them. They're very obvious. They're the only bright things. This is a cool zone. This is like, there's 5 levels to this zone. That first area, right when you come in, you've got like 3 choices of elevators, and if you like dungeon crawling and stuff like that, it's really nice to first time in the zone. It's really nice. A little easy to get turned around, but some of the zones turn back around on themselves, so you'll eventually backtrack and be able to find a way out. They put teleporters in here to help you out, so you don't have to walk all the way back out once you get to the deepest areas of the dungeon. These are the ones I'm talking about. You kind of have to time these if you're trying to avoid them. It wouldn't be, too much of a heartbreak if we got hit by one and had to fight it. If one of them aggroes on us while we're on the elevator, you pretty much have no choice but to fight it. It's gonna attack you. You can't get away very fast on your little elevator. But yeah, they come at varying speeds, and there's a pattern, so you just Sam Fisher your ass across there, and they should not see you. That's an obvious save point. I didn't even try and clean that up. After you, sir. Go ahead. Go ahead. Uh-oh. Oh, don't stand there. Move your ass. Alright. We got a couple more treasure chests. There's one item of interest in a treasure chest here that we don't want to miss during this quest. It's called the Stone of Marshall. It'll be needed later on for a subquest called the Tablet of Marshall. And it will allow us to unlock 5 remnants. And those or weapons or accessories that our guys can wear that give them really neat abilities. So we definitely want to pick up this stone here. Luckily, the Quinn is he's having a seizure or something. But we'll be picking up that stone of Marshall and ready to head in and save our mother. And we got a nice teleporter for our way out. The power of Remnant seals these doors shut. Find the key, Remnant. Release the stone of Marshall. Of course, Mom's in there. We gotta save her.
What are they?
They nearly killed me in the past.
Seriously?
But not this time!
Alright, we're fighting Namel Nerum.
Come on.
It's never hit on in the main plot, and I don't know why, that your mother would send these things to try to kill you. It's obvious she wished you were a girl, and that you were, you know, that she had 2 daughters. But I don't know why we just continue the plot after this and ignore the fact that she sent this giant monster after you. Anyway, this is the toughest fight we've had to fight so far, by far. It has just an unbelievable number of hit points. This is the only time, or I'm sorry, this is the last time in the game where the game is going to control who's in your parties. Like, they just took everybody out and left you with Emma. You don't get Balson, which you legally recruited, citing all the laws and rules of the game. They still take him away from you for plot purposes. They won't be doing that anymore, so you can kind of rest comfortably that all the fights from now on are of your own design. This is just your arm tied behind your back fight here. And he has 27,000 hit points. And we're doing about, maybe, if we're lucky, 1,000 damage per turn. So you do the math there at about 27 turns to kill this thing. If we're fighting optimally, we need to get really lucky. That's the strategy for surviving 27 rounds when they're constantly hitting you, is to constantly be healing, like we are here. They have a random chance of casting or doing their damaging ability at the end of the round where they throw their shield at you. They may not do it, and you kind of need to be lucky. You can have some bad luck, and there's really nothing you can do. You have to restart the fight. I've certainly had to fight this thing many times before I was able to kill it, because we're BR3, and the game's expecting us to be BR30 or 40 or something like that, but certainly much higher level than we are. So we have very few hit points, and I mean, I think at one point these guys get us down to like 13 hit points. And I actually didn't see it in the game when I was fighting it. I just saw it in the video after the fact. But it was actually a lot closer than I thought it was. Yeah, that pretty much takes about 80% of our hit points out whenever they cast it in the end of the round. Good thing about all this, and I've said it a few times, is that you get to use your remedies. They're going to go up. The more you use item arts, the more you use remedies, the higher chance they have of going off. So I think it kind of works like this, and excuse me if the numbers aren't exactly right. Every time you use an ability, you have like a 5% chance of learning. And so, if you use an ability 20 times in one fight, you got a really good chance of learning the next level of it by the end of the fight, at the end of the fight. And we will definitely get some skill ups because it's just the 2 of us here, and we are doing nothing but our talents and items and stuff like that. But yeah, the strategy is just to continually heal, and if we have full hit points, then we're going to do our most damaging melee abilities. We're not using Mystic at all. I don't have an option for heal here, so we kind of got to get lucky that they don't... like, yeah, just because you have low hit points, it won't always... There's a 13 hit points. It won't always give you the option to heal just because you have low hit points. It's just a higher probability of it giving you that option. Turn it around is a mix match of your highest abilities. Oh, okay, so problem solved right there, and we'll get some nice skill ups here. Still battle rank 3, so maintaining 3, that's good.
Sweet.
And that's the important one. Restorative Herb 3 there. We got our upgraded heal, and she got her remedy. Restore 2 upgraded. We're both healing better now. Triumph Felt is nice. We'll be putting that on soon.
What? No way!
Thought you would never show. It's been a long time.
Mom! Rush! Mom, I couldn't save Dad.
Huh? This is just like back then. You coming from nowhere and somehow stopping those monsters and saving my life. I need some fresh air.
Your father.
He won't wake up. Dave said that only Wagram has the power to bring him out of it. Mom. Me and Irina. We've both got the power to call out to remnants. All of this is happening because of our powers, right? I need to know, what are we? And what does that make you?
I was an orphan. The director of the academy took me in when I was a child. To return the favor, I joined the academy and dedicated my life to their research. That's where I learned the truth about who I was. You might have heard of Marion Marshall. She was the woman who bound the remnant illusion to herself and wed the God Emperor. The power she held was extraordinary. The power to erase the bindings of remnants and replace them with her own. Inside me rests that same terrible power. For I possess Marion's blessing, as does Irina. I didn't know about it until after Irina was born. Oh, if only I'd known. To think such terrible things are happening to her, all because of me.
Mom. You met Dad. I came along, and then with Irina, the four of us became a family. Were you happy with that?
I have never regretted having a family, and I never will. The three of you are what makes up my happiness.
Then there's only one thing we can do. We can get that back and be a family again. They want Marion's blessing for themselves, right? Then they're not gonna hurt Irina. We've still got a chance to save her.
Rush. Thank you. I know what I have to do now. Here. I made it using the tablet. When you find Irina, I want you to give her this for me.
But what are you gonna do, Mom?
For now, you should just concentrate on finding Irina. Rush, please, do as I say.
Mom?
Where has she run off to now? Her actions make no sense. Instead of acting on her own, she should have come with us to Athlum and explained everything to Lord David.
I don't get it either, but don't talk bad about my mom. I'm sure she knows what she's doing.
Fair enough. But you can do the explaining to Lord David.
Alright, we got a teleporter, we can just port out. No backtracking. Shall we return to Athlum? Yep, let's go. Let us leave for Athlum at once.
Right.
Oh nice, only one fight, but it was a doozy.
Guard the gates!
Yes, sir!
Come on, get a move on!
What's going on?
Lady Emma, rush! Ah, thank the Emperor, you're back safe.
Like there was any doubt.
Things have gotten worse, haven't they?
Yes. The Congress has been slow to grant that Conqueror fellow a remnant, and all the lords are in a flurry over it. And the Conqueror keeps rattling his saber about taking over countries and seizing their remnants.
You'd expect that from the sort of person who would bind the Ark. He's made an enemy out of every lord with a remnant. What's he plotting?
For starters, he's building an army.
So it's come to war.
Where's Dave?
He's meeting with an envoy from Duke Ermayan.
What's Ermayan want?
Our cooperation, apparently. Torgal?
You see, the Congress has split into two factions. One sides with the chairman, against the Conqueror. The other supports the Conqueror, fearing the God Emperor's wrath. Duke Ermayan wishes to ally with us, and end the rift as quickly as possible.
He's asked to speak with me directly, in Nagapur.
What will you do?
Take advantage of the opportunity, of course.
Lord David?
In exchange for supporting Duke Ermayan, I'll have him support Athlum's bid for independence. Think of it! We could finally be free from Salapalais.
We're hardly in a position to negotiate after what happened with the Academy.
Perhaps not, but it makes little difference. We can barely touch the Gaybold without the Duke of Cubine's blessing. Why must it be so difficult for Athlum to protect herself? Our country deserves more than this. This is a chance we have to take. Emma. It's good to see you back safely. I continue to ask your aid for the glory of Athlum.
My life is yours.
We leave for Nagapur shortly. Make haste in your preparations.
Yes, my lord.
Is there really gonna be a war?
It seems unavoidable at this point. Once war breaks out, the remnants will be played against each other. And all that will remain is scorched earth, littered with corpses and blank remnants that have lost those they were bound to. These are dark days we live in. Forgive me. I had something to ask you. Did you finally meet with your mother?
Yeah.
Well?
Dave, promise me something. I'll fight for you, for Athlum. But please, don't get Irina or my mom mixed up in this, okay?
You have my word.
Thanks, Dave.
That's all you had to say?
Yeah?
You'd better hurry and get ready then.
Yay, our unit capacity has increased to 12, and there's just 2 more upgrades left, so we're almost done with that.